Hey everyone, Egman here, and I did not steal this. I actually won myself a qualifying spot in the national championships next month. I did it with Hercule. I went 5-1 at my locals, like shop promo prelims, and yeah, I'm going to do a quick deck profile, and I'm really excited for this. I really wanted to go to nationals, or have an excuse to go to nationals. I was probably going to go anyways, and additionally, this is like the last chance I could feasibly do it without having to like drive to Texas next week or something crazy like that. So I'm happy I got it in this one, and yeah, I went 5-1 in second place. So let's go through the deck and then talk about how the matchups went and anything I changed with this before set 5 comes out. So Hercule is the leader. I usually don't play the meta leader, but I really wanted to get a position, so I did. For people who don't know, and partially because I tried him out for a while. I didn't like him, and then I actually read the card, and I thought you could only the first combo of the turn lets you draw a card, but it's every time this card battles you get to combo once to draw a card. So that changed it for me. That clicked the like oh, this is a good leader and I should be playing it. So but yeah, active battle. During this card's battle, if there are any cards in your combo area, draw one card and negate the skill for the duration of the battle, not for the turn. And then when you flip, your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 3 cards and flip this card over to this side. I wish I had the holo, but whatever. This is when this card attacks, you draw 1 card, which I don't think was really necessary, but they did it. And it is a 5k than 10k awaken, so it's not as powered as everything else. But then additionally, during this card's battle, if there are cards in your combo area, draw 1 and negate the skill for the duration of the battle. So same on both sides. So a really niche thing too is that you can combo with this. So let's say I'm at 4 life or whatever. So I could combo with this, draw 1 card, flip it over, draw 3 cards, and then his ability is active again without even comboing anything else. There's something in my combo area, so I get to draw 5. So really cool with that. I'll put him right here. Boom, there you go, Hercule. So let's go through the deck. We'll start with it's pretty much just the standard blue package. I looked at some lists around, I added some tweaks that I thought was necessary, and we got this. So first off, we got 2 Awakening Talent Pan. She's blue, which is good, she's World Tournament, which is good, and she's Self-Awakened. So that's where I'm running 2. I've seen people run 3, I think that's okay. I don't think 4 is necessary. You're not super needing to awaken, it's just really important for decks that you're trying to grind you out. Like Universe 7, this card's really good against Universe 7. If you're scared of that matchup, I'd side some more in, just to make sure you're awakened by turn 5. But yeah, she's good, and being able to return to your hand means you can self-awaken with her more, and then additionally, you get to combo with her if needed to, since it goes back to your hand and you can combo with it again. So, next up, we are running 3 Awkward Situation Trunks and 3 Awkward Situation Otosuki. Otosuki. I don't know how we are supposed to say his name. I'm not very good at English. So anyways, yeah, at first, when I first made this deck, I didn't put these guys in. I didn't think they were super powerful. And then when I realized that, so 2 things happened. One, they're blue in World Tournament, so that's all awesome. But additionally, I didn't think about sometimes you're just trying to stall out to get to high energy with this deck, and this just gives you something to do. It's a really easy board wipe, and it just lets you apply some pressure. And even though we're really good at surviving, we're not always good at removing something. So if they drop a cell chain or something, instead of and since Goku Oop can't get rid of it, you can just do Awkward Situation and him or the Awkward Situation combo and get rid of the cell without having to develop a lot. So I thought it was really good. I've seen some people run 4 of Otosuki. I'm going to try one more time. Otokosuki. Just because he's the more important card. You can keep playing him for free as long as you put 1 to the bottom of the deck. So that's good. And you only need 1 Trunks to be on the board. So next up, 3 of the Test of Strength, Son Goku and Oob. Oob is way easier to say. But yeah, these guys are really powerful. The fact that, once again, you can play one which plays the other one. Being able to remove 2 things on your opponent's board is really nice. And additionally, if you're playing against if you're playing against the mirror, if they're trying to, you know, put down a lot of announcers and stuff like that to fuel their demigra, this puts it at the bottom of, or is it? It's not demigra, it's demigra, right? Anyways, it puts it at the bottom of the deck, so that's really helpful for helping them with that. It's bad if you're trying to stall them out or deck them out, but other than that, I think it's okay. And it also just applies pressure. It's a crit and double strike 20k on the turn it's activated, so that's always good. 2 at all cost Vegeta. At first I wasn't really sure why you'd run this deck. I didn't think it was really necessary in this deck, but with playing with it and seeing how it could be useful, I was definitely wrong. One, just being able to self-awaken is really good, especially against Universe 7. Being able to take 2 life is really handy. It helps you awaken, and everything against kind of a solid control deck that won't awaken you yourself. Additionally, it's really good for applying pressure. It draws you a card, it untaps an energy when played, and then gives you triple strike, so you can essentially go for game with this card sometimes too, and since it's able to pop something, so really good. It could be a finisher. I wouldn't rely on it a lot because it kind of loses a 2 negate, but just it's a blue card and it gives you something to do. So, and that's it for the blue. Going to the black, we have 4 of each announcer. Both these guys are really good in just drawing you cards and cycling through your deck. This guy can, like, especially since we're running the Oob and the awkward situation and the other one was it test of strength combos. Being able to fish for the other one with this guy is really good. This is our only negate in the deck, so he's really good for that. Additionally, being able to draw 2 cards for one energy when needed is really handy, especially once again. So since both of our World Martial Arts tournaments are a 2-card combo, but you get to play 2 cards for 1 essentially, that means it's really good, easy for him to get activators and stuff like that. So really handy in that regards. Also, they're both black, so they help for getting to Demigra. We also are running 2 time control chronos in the main. If you don't need it, it's a 5k combo to help cycle with Hercule. If you do, it's really good. If you just need a 1-card draw anyways, that's really good. It's black for Demigra. I think it was necessary. So 2 of those. And then into kind of the black overwhelm package. So this is kind of like what everyone's running right now. It's 1 Mass Saiyan, 1 Mira, 1 Demigra, and 1 Fu Shrouded in Mystery. And these 2 are kind of finishers, and these guys are just kind of to apply pressure. Based on how I went this weekend, I don't play Mira once. I mean, I think he's necessary for applying pressure, but I don't think he's needed in the deck, so I'd say that he's fine. And then I'd even consider siding Mass Saiyan. Like, he kind of can be good in the mirror, especially if you think, if you're going second in the mirror and you want to make sure they can't drop Demigra or however you say it, drop this guy, then he's really good. But otherwise, I didn't think he was okay, both of these, but you were waiting for your overwhelm to get these 2 guys out most times. So I don't definitely keep these 2 if you want to have more of a control grindy deck. If you want options in the main, put these in, but I don't think these are really necessary. I'd even put these for 2 more Cronoa just for more cycle and additionally more draw. I would say that they were kind of nice for having 10k combos when needed. I don't remember if they saved my butt against Universe 7 Frieza, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like these are probably the weakest cards in the deck right now, and these are the kind of the win conditions you're looking for. So there's those, and then we're going into kind of our combo cards. Some cards in this deck are mostly just in here for their combo ability. So we have 8 super combos. Pretty standard to have this. I'm using the blue one because I have a lot of blue energy in case I really need it, and additionally I'm not running the yellow side package. I'll go into my side and what I chose to do instead, but I found it kind of a little bit too inconsistent and it could be a little bit bricky. I know Hercule has a lot of cycle, and so it's not always that case, but I didn't like it too terribly much. I didn't like what I was giving up for the yellow package. So if you are doing the yellow package, definitely change this to the yellow super combo just because you need more chances of energy. but yeah, that's why I did that. And then this is obviously just because drawing 2 cards for 1 energy is really good. And then also 2 double shot double shot Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and 2 E Supreme Kai. These are just kind of extra 10k combos, especially on turn 1. A lot of the times if you're playing it against an aggro deck, this card's really good because they'll try to swing in with a crit trunks or something, and then you just do this for 10k. You get to draw a card, you get to cycle, and then also helps you survive, so that's good. This helps you finish the game. It's also searchable with Announcer since it's World Martial Arts Tournament, so that's good. And that's what those cards are. And then finally our extra cards, 4 Xeno Buttons and 4 Sensu Beans. So Beans should be pretty obvious, just helps you extend your plays, and also since you're only a 5k or a 10k leader, it helps you on defense sometimes. And then Xeno Button just is super defense heavy. One thing you have to worry out for is you lose really hard against the battering laser, so don't, if you see them with a yellow energy, or if they have yellow potential, I would not try to, don't go all in on Xeno Button. I'd side those out if they have any yellow energy capacity. Always keep Bean in though. But additionally, you really only need to get 1 or 2 Xeno Buttons off to resolve to win the game. So 4 might be too many, but I always saw them, which is really handy. And I'll go into like there was a match where getting a Xeno Button off of a chain attack Xeno was really important, so that helped a lot. And yeah, so let's go into the side real quick. So for the side we have 3 objections. I felt like objection was really good. I really wanted to, my win condition against decks that didn't kind of grind themselves out was just dropping off the 6-drop Fu. And it helped out a lot, and I think just being able to ramp to energy. Not all matchups are like that. Like, it's super dead in aggro matchups, especially since it could have been a Xeno Button or something else. So I keep it in the side, but I think it's really good in a lot of matchups. So I decided this in probably this is probably the biggest siding card I had all weekend. So additionally, we have 2 Mafubas. These cards are really, I mean, if we need more negates, these are really handy and for multi-purpose reasons. I don't have any Weesis coercions in the main or side, so if you feel like just having an extra Weesis coercion, I'd say that's pretty fair to put in here, but I just put Mafuba just since we usually have the energy for it, and usually the target we're removing is really big. And then also, it's kind of necessary against Victory Strike, though they will usually battering laser the Mafuba. Next up, we have 2 Ultimate Judgment Jocko. He's really good against kind of more aggressive decks, and also I was super afraid of Universe 7. Like the Universe 7 Frieza with Victory Strike, that was probably the deck I was afraid of the most. I didn't want to get just because I feel like it could be a big counter to this deck, especially since it doesn't try to self-awaken you. You have to do it by yourself, which this deck doesn't usually try to do a lot. It usually relies on your opponent self-awakening you. But yeah, I put Jocko in as well just for being able to be a 15k combo on defense, essentially. Since they're going all in on that last attack, you can even bounce back their super combos, and it doesn't matter. They have another super combo because they're not going to get the Victory Strike. So that's why I'm doing that. And then additionally, and that's also a reason why objection. If you can ramp up to turn 5 or 6 before they can and drop a Fu or drop a Demigra, or Demigra, then that's how you win that, because you can pop off a Universe 7 guy out of their hand, the Victory Strike out of their hand if they have it. So that's the blue side, and then also in the black side we have 1 Cronoa. I'd probably actually put this to 2, and mostly because you really want not for Shugesh, but just for more black cards to help fuel Demigra, especially since this card can cycle and stuff like that. I feel like doing that is having 2 of these is fine. I also put in 3 minus Killy Zone. I felt like minus Killy Zone was really handy, or it could be really handy against the mirror, because a lot of people are running the side yellow, so you can put minus Killy Zone to stop Crusher Ball, and also is mostly crushable, right? But it also lets you draw cards. You can choose what cards you send to the warp, so it doesn't necessarily affect your black card count for your drop area. And it's free cycle, which is always handy. Then lastly, I'm running one Masked Saiyan, the Mysterious Warrior. I think having 2 of them in the side would probably be the best pick for these guys. I don't think they're handy in every matchup, but against aggro, I would take out the Dimensional Banisher Fu, or the Shroud and Mystery Fu, because you're not going to get to 6 energy anyways, and just being able to warp away their stuff is really helpful. And then lastly, we had our extra Fus, so I had one more dimensional, I had 2 Dimensional Banishers on the side, and an extra Fu, Shroud and Mystery in the main. I feel like having 2 of these against decks, against decks that where it really matters is necessary. I don't think Dimensional Banisher Fu is going to make a return to the side deck. If anything, I'd probably put another one of the Awkward Situation guys in there, just because it's the same thing without having to do Overwhelm. But yeah, that was, I'd say this was probably the weakest card in the side deck. So that's it for that. Going through matchups, round 1, I played against a Masked Saiyan, and it was actually, I made a mistake game 1 where I didn't, where I just didn't play Xenobutton. That's pretty much what happened. I didn't play Xenobutton, and then I had a bunch of like 10k combos in my hand, like, oh shoot, I definitely should have played Xenobutton, huh? And I lost to that, and then after that I I don't know how to say it other than like I was just like super in the zone, and like, okay, I need to focus. It kind of woke me up, and I was able to get the next 2 games, but they're still really close, and it definitely like scared me for the rest of the tournament. So game 2 I played against, and that was against a guy named Paul. Game 2 I played against, I believe his name is Daniel. It might be David, but I'm 99% sure his name is Daniel. He was also playing Hercule. He probably had a pretty similar build to mine, but he had the yellow side. Game 1 he went first, so he got Demigra out first, and then game 2 I went first, and I objection, and I put the extra Fu in, so I was able to drop the first Fu and stop him, but I wasn't able to find the second Fu for turn, or to drop it again. I feel like if I was able to drop the second Fu, I probably would have been able to get the game, but I wasn't able to find it. So that was okay. And additionally, like, we both forgot to take the Fu off the board at the end of my turn, and I started my next turn trying to attack with it and stuff. And by the end of my turn, I was like, okay, I'm not going to win this turn. And I realized, and he mentioned like, hey, why is Fu still on the board? I'm like, I'm just going to give it to this guy. So I conceded. I'm like, I definitely just wasn't going to win this game. So after that, I went against, who was next? I went against Sam. That's right. I went against Sam, and he had a blue-red Hurtigarn. I was really worried about Chain Attack Xeno, but I feel like I played around it pretty good. And I just waited until turn 6 to drop. Game 1, he forgot to charge a 4th energy, and so he wasn't able to drop Trunks on me, and I was able to just grind it out. Game 2, I think I got to 6 energy, and I was able to drop Fu, and additionally I was able to drop, I had an at all cost Vegeta still on board from the last turn, so I was able to do 5 damage to him, and I won that. Game 4, I did a Hurtigarn, or a Hercule's Mirror. I was able to go first game 1, which I was really happy about, and I think I dropped a Fu on him in 1. It may have been another reason. But game 2, I remember I was able to objection up to 5 and then fill my drop area and drop Demigra and win the game because of that. So I felt really confident with that game. Game 5, I went against my friend Isaac, who was playing Universe 7 Frieza. And it was, game 1 was really close. He went, did I go first? I went first, and I was able to get Pan in my opening hand, and so I was able to get Pan, and so I was able to get myself to 5 life by the time he dropped Victory Strike. Additionally, he objectioned, so he went first and he objectioned, so he he had Victory Strike out on turn 4, and I think I only had like 3 energy at the time. But I was able to actually out combo his. I had like 3 super combos in hand and 2 unbreakables, so I was able to combo out his Victory Strike, and he went down to 1 to try to beat me. So I was just able. I was lucky on that. And then game 2, I went first, and I also objectioned, and so I was able to get the energy lead on him. I don't remember how it ended. I don't think I dropped a foo. I may have dropped a foo. But I was just able to grind it out and win that match. So, but that was pretty close. That was probably the game I was most afraid of the entire, and like just the fact that he was able to get Victory Strike out on me on turn 5. I was just super scared of that. So I'm happy I won that one. And then game 6, I went against my good friend Kip, and he was playing Red Blue Hurugarn. Game 1, he played super well. It was like we pretty much passed back and forth in the entire game, and so I was at 4 energy, and I had nothing to do, so I just nonchalantly dropped an Adel cost Vegeta, which left me at 1 energy, and I didn't have a Senzu Bean in hand, and I only had, and I didn't have a Zemo button either, so I was really stupid in doing that, and I thought I'd get some off my life or something, but he was able to drop like 3 intensifying trunks and just do a lot of life damage, and eventually forcing me to awaken before he dropped the Zeno. And then I just kind of lucked out, and I was able to get a button off a Zeno button off the 5 from Zeno, and just finish the game because he couldn't kill me that turn. So lucked out on there. And then game 2 was pretty. I think I played a little bit smarter, and I didn't. I made sure to always have enough life untapped to defend myself if needed, and I felt like that was a pretty automatic game. So, yeah, that's it for this deck. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys would change. It's, once again, I'm not saying this is a super original deck, but it got me to Nationals, and I can't wait to be there next month. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.